Hey, this is Hans from Dakota Angler and Outfitter in Rapid City, South Dakota. In this video we're going to continue looking at some Eastern European style flies. This is a Czech Quill nymph, and it demonstrates how you can put a neat little hot spot on a small nymph that just gives a trigger to the fly that might make that fly stand out a little bit and add a few more fish to your daily catch. So I've got the competition series hook from Umpqua, the Czech made hook, a C200 BL in a size 16, and I have a black nickel 5/64 tungsten bead, and then I've got fluorescent fire orange ultra thread started on the hook. I'm going to take some Coq de Leon fibers. You could also use microfibrils here for a tail. I'm going to tie those in. Wrap to the back. And at the back, I'm going to make a few extra turns of the fire orange thread. That's going to be my hot spot. Make a nice underbody by going back to the front. Then I'm just going to half hitch this fire orange thread at the front of the hook. Take it off, and I'll switch to black 70 denier ultra thread. You could use an olive or whatever color at this point you wanted to make the actual body of your fly. Trim off the excess thread. Tie in the silver wire for a rib. I'm going to spin my thread so it lays flat, makes a nice flat body. Now see, I'm not going to wrap all the way to the back of the hook. I'm going to leave that little red, or in this case fire orange, spot at the back. Wrap my way towards the front of the hook one more time. Make sure I've got a decent taper for my body. Now I'll use my silver wire to rib the body of the fly. Get to the thread, I'll tie off the wire with a few turns of thread. Take off the excess. Now at the front, I'm going to take a little UV ice dub. Just tie in a little clump of UV ice dub right behind the bead. Wrap back a little ways. And then I'm going to trim that clump off in a RS2 style emerging wing. Then I'm going to add a little black or dark brown dubbing. In front of the emerging wing. You could finish the fly here, but some of the Czech flies I've seen have also kind of done a CDC soft tackle, just to give the fly a little movement. So what I'm going to do is I've got some fibers of CDC, probably a dozen or 15 fibers. I'm going to set those onto the top of the hook, kind of press them around the hook with my thumb and forefinger, and then make a loose wrap, capture some of those CDC fibers, and then push them down with my left thumb and forefinger. Make a few wraps of thread in front of them. If you get lucky, you've distributed them fairly equally around the hook. Then I'll pull them back. You don't need these really long, but just give the fly some legs. And then take a small amount of dubbing again. You really don't need much here, just a a wisp of dubbing. I'll push that up, and I'll hold that CDC down and wrap a couple more turns in front of the CDC, and then I can do a 3-turn whip finish to finish the fly after I've got that small amount of dubbing on. Tighten that up, trim off the thread. So there you have a quill bodied style nymph. Even though you're not using a quill, you're just suggesting the look of a quill with the wire and thread body. And then we've got a little hot spot, which is a nice trigger to this fly. You can add that on a lot of your nymph patterns. It just seems to make the fly a little more of an attractor to the fish. You can take, if you want, just make sure that that quill isn't gonna, that thread body isn't gonna get too frayed by putting a little bit of thin head cement over it, and then touch the thread at the front of the fly with a little bit of the same head cement. And there you go. Again, I'm Hans from Dakota Angler and Outfitter. We just finished tying a Czech style quill body nymph with a hot spot. Try these out. I've been fishing them this fall on the new Sage ESN rod in concert with another larger nymph, and been taking a lot of fish on this style of fly. You can vary the color scheme. Black seems to work really well around the streams I fish, so I do a lot of black bodies, but an olive body works really well. So tie a few of these up and give them a try. I'm Hans from Dakota Angler and Outfitter. Thanks for watching. Check out these videos and more at flyfishsd.com.